So exit stage right, Glenn Beck. Enter stage right, Rush Limbaugh. There are so many things you can say about Rush Limbaugh. Where do you begin, Angelo?
I think that the Limbaugh stuff is an example of, when I was doing the Beck stuff, what I would consistently say to people, because one, they were all even people who would agree with me would say this is pointless. Either they're not dropping all of Fox News, so you're not doing anything, or oh come on, you're never going to get them to drop Glenn Beck, and there was such a sense. And for me, this whole organizing thing was new too. That there was such a sense of impotency. That for me, I always thought that the biggest barrier of getting people to participate in that effort or others was that they didn't think it would work. That they didn't
Hmm.
think that anything they did would actually matter. And what I tried to get everyone to understand was that it did matter, that their participation mattered, and that the persistent element is what pays off. That you have to actually be persistent. It's not going to happen in a week or 2 weeks, but you actually have to consistently move the ball forward and change the calculus, the business calculus that was rewarding and providing for this kind of incentive. And for me, the Limbaugh work, in many ways, it really validated that because a lot more people were eager to jump on board and participate in the Limbaugh efforts, either their own or through various groups. And I think that people were a little more incentivized to step in because they actually thought it could work because they said, well, it just worked with Beck. Why can't it work here? And in many ways, that was a big one. That to me, that's the big ingredient because the difference between the Limbaugh effort and the Beck one is that the Beck one there were a few major groups on the beat. And that was it, and that's whereas the Limbaugh one, there's lots of little individuals out there that are listening to their local radio station, contacting their local advertisers, and causing in excess of $100 million in financial losses to Rush Limbaugh and some of the allied conservative talkers. And I think in many ways it is a recognition that the approach works and that persistence pays off. And it's the same thing. Advertiser after advertiser recognizes that being in and supporting, even by accident, that kind of conduct and that kind of show is actually bad for their own business. It's just too risky. It's too volatile.